Hey, my name is Sandeep Tekchandani. I'm the founder of Sandeep.mba and welcome to my GMAT video lesson. In this video lesson, I'll give you an introduction to GMAT problem solving. We'll start with the basics, then we will look at the scope of problem solving, then we will look at the kind of knowledge, skills, and abilities that are tested by the problem solving section, and eventually we will go over some sample questions of problem solving. So let's start with the basics. The problem solving questions are part of the quantitative section of the GMAT. The quantitative section of the GMAT has 31 questions which need to be solved in 62 minutes. Therefore, you will have 2 minutes. I repeat, you will have 2 minutes for each question in the quantitative section of the GMAT. Problem solving questions randomly appear with data sufficiency questions. Basically, in the exam, please don't expect that you will have a series of problem solving questions followed by a series of data sufficiency questions. No, that's never the case. Problem solving questions will always be intermingled or interspersed with data sufficiency questions. No calculator is allowed. Therefore, you must brush up your basic concepts, brush up your formulas, and if possible, learn the first 30 squares, cubes, and tables, because I don't want my students to spend valuable time in the exam calculating the squares and cubes of numbers. You have to select the best answer out of 5 options. Basically, you will be given a question and 5 choices will be given associated with that question, and you will have to select the best answer out of the 5 choices which will be given to you. You cannot go back to the question once answered. In the exam, you will see only one question at a time on your screen. Once you solve the question and click on the confirm button, you cannot go back and change your answer. Bottom line, always double check your answer in the GMAT exam before hitting the confirm button. In this slide, we will study the scope of GMAT problem solving. When I say scope, I mean the syllabus of GMAT problem solving. Broadly speaking, there are 3 main modules. These 3 modules are arithmetic, algebra, and geometry. Now, there are chapters under each of these modules, which I'll show in my next slide. In the arithmetic module, the following chapters are there: properties of numbers, fractions, operations with real numbers, ratio and proportion, percents, powers and roots, statistics, sets, probability, sequences and series, rate work and mixtures, and eventually permutation and combination. In the algebra module, the following chapters are there: algebraic expressions, equations, quadratic equations, inequalities, absolute value, functions. In the geometry module, we have the following chapters: lines and angles, triangles, quadrilaterals, circles, coordinate geometry, area and perimeter, and eventually volume. In this slide, we will study the kind of skills that are tested by the GMAT problem solving. The GMAT problem solving tests your mathematical concepts and your ability to reason critically. See, the problem solving questions are built or designed in such a way that they test your basic math skills and understanding of elementary maths concepts. They also test your ability to reason mathematically, solve maths problems, and interpret graphic data. The maths knowledge required to answer the questions is no more advanced than what is generally taught in secondary school or high school mathematics classes. So take it easy, my friends. Even though the portion is very vast, the problem solving will only test your basic mathematical skills. In the following slides, we will go over some sample problem solving questions. I have taken questions from each of the 3 modules. The modules are arithmetic module, algebra module, and the geometry module. Now, this is the example of a question from the arithmetic module. Let me read it for you. At a supermarket, John spent half of his money on fresh fruit and vegetables, 1/3 on meat products, and 1/10 on bakery products. If he spent the remaining $6 on candy, how much did John spend at the supermarket? Now, this is the main question, and these are the 5 answer choices associated with the question. This is an example of a question from the algebra module. If the absolute value of x minus half, my friends, this sign is called the absolute value or the modulus. So let me read it again for you. If the absolute value of x minus half is less than 11 upon 2, which of the following could be a value of x? This is the main question, and you'll be given 5 choices: A, B, C, D, and E. And again, you have to select the best answer out of these 5 choices. And finally, let's take a look at a geometry sample question. In the exam, you'll be given a figure that is somewhat similar to this. I'll read the question for you. A flat patio was built alongside a house as shown in the figure above. If all angles are right angles, what is the area of the patio in square feet? Once again, this is the question, and these are the 5 answer choices associated with that question. So let's just summarize. What did we learn in this GMAT video lesson? We learned that problem solving has 3 modules in it. Those 3 modules are arithmetic, algebra, and geometry. Now, each of these modules have chapters under them. You have to apply the concept, do a bit of critical thinking, and solve the problem. Once you have solved the problem, you have to select the best answer out of the 5 options which will be presented on your screen. And eventually, I also showed you some sample questions which you can expect in your exam. That is all, my friends. If you found my video lesson helpful, then you should go to sandeep.mba for more information on the GMAT, how to prepare for the GMAT and applying to business schools. You should also click on that like button and let me know in the comments which topics you would like me to cover in my future video lessons. And of course, if you have not yet subscribed, then go ahead and click on that bell so that you'll get notified about my future video lessons. All the best.